Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, that's hysterical.
Splendid! This calls for a sexy party. Hail to the king, baby. Fatality.
Jason Mewes. He played Jay in all Kevin Smith's movies. And how you doing, mate?
I'm good.
Pretty crappy intro, but just bear with me because I'm a little bit starstruck, as I said. So, do you find that because of your role as Jay, the ever ongoing stoner from the Kevin Smith series up until Clerks 2, where he's over it? Do you find that people for a while or currently try to pigeonhole you as that sort of character?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I'd say so. It's pretty much the scripts that I get sent to me and roles I get offered are pretty similar to, I'd say, the character Jay. Like the obnoxious guy, the stoner, somewhere's around that. So yeah, I would say it seems to go that way. Not always a stoner, but even if the guy's not a stoner character, it is it's usually, the obnoxious guy, the loud mouth.
You can, I'll tell you now, you can
get any offer.
You can use language to describe yourself if you want, as in, you don't have to refrain from using any words.
Okay.
No,
So yeah, there's that, and then so it's not like I'm not really getting offers for like an action hero or the suave romantic guy or anything. It's usually the obnoxious loud guy or stoner character or whatever. So. But I enjoy doing that. I mean, I want to try to branch out and do something. I'd like to do something. I want not so much a romantic comedy. I don't want to really be the romantic guy or anything, but I'd like to try something maybe a little darker or something. I don't know yet. Mm-hmm. We'll see. And I'm trying to get into. I've been going to earlier. I was saying the production company, my buddy's production company, and I'm sort of sitting in on production meetings for some movies that he has going on and. Hanging around and trying to learn a little bit about producing and stuff. So I want to produce. I'm trying to produce this TV, a pilot. It's not, it's not picked up or anything, but we're trying to get this pilot together, and I'm going to produce it and stuff. So that's what else what's going on. I'm just trying to learn a little bit about that. Trying to do a little something different.
Yeah, no, I was going over your acting list, and there's a movie there that sounds rather bizarre. Never heard of it. The Blair Clown Project.
The Blair, that was a, I barely remember that, to be honest. That was back in my days of getting high and stuff. But it was an independent film that this kid did, and I went in. I was in like a one scene, and I couldn't even tell you honestly what character I played or what I had to do. I don't even remember. I remember the name because it stands out, and I remember the kid and stuff and going to do it. But I honestly don't even remember what character or what I had to do. It's been like I said, it was a while ago, and it was back in the day.
With you say
a little hazy.
You say everybody who's heard of you and has followed your career, to any extent knows of your difficulty over the years with your addiction that you've had before. With how to put it, with Kevin, I think he told you at one stage that you weren't going to star in one of his movies or something because you were doing that sort of thing. Is that true?
Well, he sort of, the way he put it was just the obvious that I was pretty bad off, and he said, yeah, that it was just too tough, and that we couldn't do anymore. We couldn't do anything else. If I was going to continue to get messed up, because for the last couple movies I was getting messed up, but then I would get sober. I would I'd get clean for the couple months we were shooting, but and it would just be like a month, a month and a half before we'd start shooting of I would say hell for him, hell for me, hell for anyone that was around me. It wasn't pleasant to be around when I was trying to get off the stuff, and so like after the last one, after Jay and Bob, he just was like, there aren't going to be any more just because it's too hard, and plus each time I got clean and then started to use again, worse. It would get worse, and it would just keep getting. I would get worse off than the time before.
We watched those Evening with Kevin Smiths recently. They released them as a dual pack over here. The Evening Harder or whatever it was called. We sat there through all of them. Just sat there watching the whole thing from beginning to end.
Yeah, I haven't got to see. I haven't got to see the new one. I've watched pieces of it, but I haven't got to see much of. I saw pieces of it, but I didn't get to. I gotta go get it and watch it.
Yeah, I think
even harder one.
I think if I ever speak to Kevin, I'll just point him to a little comment he made in the first one, which was, what was it? This is the last time you'll ever see Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He was saying that. He did say that, and I know that. He mentioned it, but now I know that he wants to finish, which was perfect. He said he started it with Clerks, and it was nice to finish the View universe with with Clerks. So,
to finish it with Clerks too. I have to actually say the first movie that I got into in that series was, what was it, Mallrats. Don't kill me, but I still haven't seen Clerks. That's really sad, I know, but I'm actually hunting around to buy it, but I can't find anywhere that has it, because everywhere that I go to is sold out. Everybody keeps telling me it's sold out. We're getting in more. That doesn't help me. I want to buy the damn thing, but
yeah.
I chased down every other one over a period of time and watched them, and Clerks 2 I actually saw while it was at the cinema. And where he's, the bit where Jay's outside and he's talking about how they got busted and they got sent to jail and everything. It's this might seem like a bit of a silly question because it might be blindingly obvious. Kevin, did he write that as sort of an allegory of anything that's happened to you, if you know what I mean, or was it just a random thing for evolution of the characters?
Yeah, no. A lot of it. A lot of that, well, not a lot of that part, but there's a part of that was true, like the going to rehab. Also when I'm talking about how I got pulled over with the deployed airbag, that really happened. So going to
Sorry, man.
So getting pulled over, no, it's fine. Getting pulled over and getting arrested and then getting 6 months in rehab is all true. The Bible thing ain't true and all that, but yeah, there was a piece of that was true. So
that whole Bible thing was a great deleted scene.
The what one? I'm sorry.
The reading of the Bible was a really great.
Oh yeah.
That was a great deleted scene. I just love the bit where you read out something and then both of you look at each other and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Kevin. I don't know. There was another. Well, I guess they have it in the deleted scenes. I need to go back and watch more of the deleted scenes. But yeah, there is more stuff in there about that, which I guess is what you're talking about. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and it's funny that when I was reading the script when he gave it to me, I was reading all that, and it makes me laugh just because it's funny that he puts you put stuff that happened, there's pieces in there of stuff that really happened. So it's pretty funny.
Clerks was your first big. Was that your first movie you'd done as a that got widespread release? If you know what I mean. Eventually, became a cult hit.
What, the first Clerks?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing I'd done. I've excuse me, Kevin and I have known each other for years, and we will. And I used to work as a roofer, and I'd also go down and help him out at the convenience store he worked at, and he's like, yeah, I wrote a script, and I think I'm just gonna do it, and I was like, cool, and then he's like, I wrote a character for you, and I want you to do it, and I was like, yeah, whatever, I had no idea, because it's not like here or the little town we grew up, it's not like people are like, man, I want to make movies and I want to do that. Not many people. Of course, kids fantasize about being in movies, but it wasn't like people are like, I'm going to go to acting school and all the, growing up for me, the people that I was around. So when Kevin said he was going to do this movie, I just was like, yeah, whatever, cool. I thought he was going to, buy like $1,000 video camera and get a couple friends and do this movie. But then I was just like, cool. And then whatever, it was a few weeks later or whatever, he gave me the script and he's like, we start shooting. And then gave me the script and said, we start shooting. And then we started shooting. And then I just realized we went to New York. I went to New York with them and we picked up, we picked up the camera, the real camera and all that. And we had the little sound stuff and I don't know, it was just weird because I thought it was going to be like a little fun home movie, which it sort of was because it was all friends that helped out and all that. And then even after we were done shooting, I just went back to work roofing. And then little time after, Kevin's like, yeah, we're going to this film festival, got accepted and blah, blah. I was like, cool, whatever. Because I didn't know anything about movies and making them and the process of going to film festivals, trying to get someone to distribute it and all that. I didn't know anything about it. So I'm like, yeah, cool, you're going to a film festival, whatever. And then he came back and said that that Miramax picked it up and bought it, and that it's going to be in on a few screens, real screens in New York and stuff. And I was like, wow. Shit. And even then though, I still was like, oh, that's cool. A few people are going to see it, and I'm still roofing and whatever. And then it wasn't until Mallrats really that I was like, wow, this is. We went and did Mallrats, and there was a studio film, so we had 50 people working on the set, the first AD, second AD, DP, and this and that, and that's when I really realized wow, this is real, real stuff. But so no, I had not done the question. No, to answer the question, no, I didn't do anything before that, and I didn't do anything after that until Mallrats, and I didn't even ever think about acting or anything to do with movies. My thoughts back at 17 when I got out of high school was and I was roofing. I was like, oh, maybe I can own my own roofing company.
Yeah, you never.
in 5 years.
You never thought, Jesus, I'm going to be well known for the rest of my life as playing, this character.
Yeah, and I didn't think anything about it, but it's really cool. And I hadn't been to LA. I hadn't really been anywhere. It's we went to Minnesota. We went and shot in Minneapolis and to do Mallrats, and it was real then. It's we got to go and we got to we got to actually do a real. I'm saying I got to go away and stay in a hotel and get per diem and just go to work every day shooting with all these people and stuff. It was cool. It was a really cool experience. It's why Mallrats I still say is my favorite, because it was even though we shot Clerks, it was more, again, it was a bunch of friends. There was 10 people, and I was nervous. I didn't know. I was nervous in front of the camera. I didn't really know oh, what do you But then Mallrats was really when it hit me, and I was like, wow, I'm making movies. This is awesome.
I really love I really love how I suppose you could say the extended family from these sort of, from all the movie series has, in a way, kept together. I mean, Jason, Lee, and Ethan Suplee working on My Name is Earl, for instance. You know,
Yeah.
whereas they were in Mallrats, and then they were in, you know, they both cameoed in Clerks 2, and I can't remember if they're in, what was it, Jason Lee popped up in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back as well, and Dogma, they're I think they're both through all of them, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm trying. Let me see. I'm trying to think.
Chasing Amy, I remember being an excellent movie. I just can't remember it very well, unfortunately. And Kevin might not really give a shit.
Yeah, Jason Lee's in that. Ethan, I don't believe is in Chasing Amy, and I don't think. I'm trying to think if Ethan was even in. If he was in Jay and Bob, but yes, Lee's been in all of them. Jason Lee's been in almost all of them.
That man is harder to get in contact with Elvis's ghost.
Oh, Lee?
Yeah, mate, my father is just an absolute fanatic for My Name is Earl. We both love the show, and trying to get in contact with him so far is just, it's not his manager, it's not her fault. It's just a case of timing.
Yeah.
I'd love to speak to the guy sometime, but Jesus Christ, I imagine he's got a hell of a schedule to keep.
Yeah. I know that even when he did that, when he was Kevin called and asked him to do something in Clerks 2, they had to schedule it around his, and he even, I think, was working all night. It came, did sort of Kevin a favor because he was working all night on Earl and didn't really sleep and came to set and wind up right after Earl, he came straight to set to do ours, like to come shoot with us. But yeah, I heard, I guess he was hard to get a hold of. We're busy with that Earl show.
I just actually with his
doing good. Wasn't it up for Emmy or something? I don't really keep track of all that. I know that I saw that it was up for.
Have you? You haven't appeared on the show yet, have you?
I have not. I have not. I don't know what his deal is. I told him last time. I said, "Where's mine? Where's me? Where's Mewes on this, man? Come on."
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. Actually, I'd really like to see that. But have you ever had any TV shows thrown at you? Stuff you wanted to do?
No, I haven't. I wouldn't mind doing only TV I've done is with Kevin for the Degrassi, which was a lot of fun. But
oh man, I grew up with that show.
So I haven't done any other TV, and I'd like to though. I'd like to see. I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I haven't done any yet. But like I said, we're trying to work on this. I'm trying to work on this pilot for this TV show, and if it got picked up, it would be great. And hopefully it does. But also, besides trying to learning to produce and producing it, going to be the producer of it. I'm trying to. I'm going to play one of the main guys in it. So one of the main characters. Not the main character, but one of the characters in there. So if everything works out, I'll do the pilot, and then hopefully it'll get picked up or something, and we'll see what happens.
No, when you were talking about Jason Lee before cameoing in the Clerks 2, I don't know, for some reason I think even though the bit where he's burning Randall and Dante and that, I think still my favourite part of that is where you come in. You look at him, you get the burger and the drink off him, and then you're walking out the door and you just scream, "Hey, dude, pickle fuck, I guess."
Oh, yeah.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria.
Splendid! This calls for a sexy party. Hail to the king, baby. Fatality.
Like with the dialogue in the movie, do you get to improvise a lot of that, or is that just strictly done, strictly supervised, or?
Well, it's a lot of it's scripted, and then I'll like while we're shooting, I'll come up with something, and I'll usually ask Kevin, and I'll throw it in there. Or I'll even ask him before we shoot, the actual scene. I'll be like, hey, look, in this scene right here, I'm going to, instead of saying this, can I say that? And he'll be like, we'll try it. And if we like it, we'll keep it. If not, we'll shoot it again and do something else. So it's cool because, like I said, Kevin and I have been working together for so long, and we've been friends for, I don't know, I think it's been 18 years now or something.
Man, you're making me feel old now. So we, we've been friends for a long time and stuff. So it's really cool because we'll sit and we'll talk about beforehand. We won't just, and sometimes I'll just throw something in and he won't like it, and he'll be like, don't do that. He'll be like, don't say that. Say what I wrote. Or he'll be like, look, if you don't want to say what's written, he'll be like, if you don't like what's written, then here, how about this? And then he'll give me something else to try. So. But I mean, getting away from Kevin's movies. I mean, I love them, but we'll just leave Kevin's movies for a little while because I imagine that's what you're bombarded with questions about all the time. But you've also done some video game voiceover work.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Just once for that Scarface video game, which was it's fun. It's you go in there.
Who did you play in that?
Yeah, I played the guy, I guess, who makes mixed tapes. I'm not even sure because I haven't played the game, and they were supposed to send me a copy, and they didn't, and all that. But if you look, so if you look at I think Wikipedia, someone messaged me once too, telling me that they're like, oh, I played the game and I heard your voice. I guess I'm the guy who sells mixed tapes or something, or steals a bunch of mixed tapes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Oh,
yeah,
just thinking, in a game like that, it must be surreal if you hear yourself talking and then you pull out a gun and you blow the character away.
Because they were supposed to send me the thing, and then they were supposed to send me a code where you can play the game as that character, like as my character. I could play the game as my character.
Oh, that'd be a trip.
And yeah, which would be fun. Instead of playing as Tony Montana, you could play. They're supposed to give me a code, and I could play as that guy, the character that I played. So, but that was a lot of fun.
No, aside from Scarface, of course, you did the Tripper, which you mentioned earlier with David Arquette. Actually, I think we're off air when you mentioned that one. What's the Tripper's something that I've been following for a little while, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of information out there about it. There's a lot of mention that it's coming out, but I haven't been able to personally find a lot of clear information over what the plot is. Are you able to tell us what it is?
I don't know. I mean, plus I just think I can't. I'm not well. I don't do well at explaining really. I mean, so I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to explain and mess it up. But
so just go see it.
just don't say go see it. But it was good. I got to see pieces. I haven't even got to see the full movie. Every time they screened it a couple times already. And I was out of town and doing stuff like they've screened it. David screened it at a couple things here in LA, and I wasn't around, so I missed it. But I got to see pieces of it, and it's good. But it's like a black, I guess I'd say a black comedy. It's sort of like a horror movie about a killer, and I don't know. I don't know how to really. Again, I'm horrible at explaining movies. People ask me all the time, they're like, "Well, what's it about?" I'm like, "Yeah, well."
Yeah, then there's
so I don't know.
Then there's a problem that horror is actually one of the hardest ones to describe because quite often it's a generic premise which the plot itself expands upon. You can if you were to describe Scream Part 1 to some people, Part 1 was a brilliant movie, but a killer goes after a bunch of teens. Okay, I saw that when Freddy did it, but it's more a case, I suppose, of having to see it. But you've also got, let's see, you did Repo. Now, I talked to, the reason I actually got in contact with your manager was to do an interview was because of the word of someone, Zach Ward, who worked with.
Oh, okay, Zach. Yeah.
Zach was an absolute blast to talk to. The guy's like ADHD wrapped in a human package. He's
funny.
Oh, no, he was absolutely wonderful to talk to. Actually, we had to stretch our interview out to 2 parts, like 2 hours worth. We covered everything from Transformers to Repo to everything, and he actually had nothing but nice things to say about you. But Repo is. Everybody at first thought Repo was a remake of an old movie called Repo Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like.
People were asking me. No, I was just saying when I would tell people Repo, they'd ask me. So they're like, "Is it Repo Man? Does that have to do with that and stuff?" So yeah, people would ask me too.
Yeah, no, Zach.
But no, it's not.
Zach cleared it up for us. It's not a remake. A remake of Repo Man would be interesting. I just we'll just agree that that's definitely not the remake. But you've done a lot of other ones, like you had the Project Greenlight winner that made the movie Feast.
Yes.
Now you played.
Yes, I did.
Did you play?
I've done an.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you out there.
No, it's fine. We keep cutting each other. Yes, I played myself, which was funny because it wasn't at first. It wasn't. I wasn't playing myself. I was playing this dude, a totally different character, and then when I went to the screening, they wound up changing it to my own name, to Jason Mewes. So I thought that was pretty funny. They just did that. So yeah, but that was fun. That was fun. And I did another movie called Nether Beast, which is going to be screening at the Dallas Film Festival and also Arizona Film Festival. And I know that they're trying to get that going and stuff. So we'll see.
And you're part of Pauly Shore is Dead, the only funny Pauly Shore movie for years. I think it's the only Pauly Shore movie for years. That was
a lot of fun. That was a while ago.
Yeah, people kill me when people feel like killing me. I think when I say that I actually don't mind Pauly Shore at all. I think he's rather I always enjoyed his movies, but that was definitely an interesting one. It was done documentary style, I think, from memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was but it was so accurate. It's like displaying, what does he do? He fakes his death, and then everybody's going on about how he was ahead of his time, and he was brilliant, and he was this, And it just struck me as so, how to put this, realistic and accurate, and then recently I was thinking about that movie when I was watching the Anna Nicole thing on the news.
Yeah.
Not to speak ill of the dead, but when this bloody this woman from, I don't know if it was Entertainment Tonight or some other show, they're on camera and they're going on about a tragic life cut short, the talent that she had, and I'm thinking, no, she didn't. It's tragic the woman passed away, and she's probably a lovely lady in real life. Well, was a lovely lady, but don't go going overboard here. It's kind of a little surreal, I suppose. But out of all the now you said Mallrats was your most fun that you had on a Kevin Smith movie. What have you got any really fond memories of maybe a favourite that you've done that wasn't attached to Kevin?
Favorite that I've done. I would say Repo. I had a really good time. It was fun. It was fun and it was different. It was funny to because it's the guys who the guy who wrote it and who directed it, Ben, is Mormon. He's a Mormon, so there's no. And I didn't even. It's funny because I didn't even realize when I first read the script. It didn't really just hit me at first that there's no cursing or really not anything dirty or anything. And it just I read it and it was funny and I liked it and then I realized after I read it and then I started looking over it again. I'm like, wow, there's no curse or anything. And then I found out he's Mormon, and it was just fun. It was fun because I would mess with him on set. Like I would do scenes and I'd mess around with him and I'd be like, "All right, Ben, so right," like I would do the scene and then we'd cut and they'd set up. They'd be like, "Oh, we need this, just move this a little bit." And while they were setting up, I was like, Ben, and this one right here, instead of being like, "Look, I'm gonna kick your butt," I'm gonna say, "Look, I'm gonna fuck you up." And he'd be like, dude, come on, man, come on. Like he would it was just funny because like he'd be like, "Dude, man, come on, don't say that, don't say that word, don't say the F word," and like I would just mess with him, and then it was just funny because he don't curse. The dude's just real straight, and he doesn't curse or talk dirty really or anything. So like every once in a while, I just would mess around, and and I would say that I was going to do things in the scene and all that. So it was fun. So, but I would say there was one of my that I had a lot of fun on that one.
Actually,
on Repo.
okay, well, get away from movies for a second. Now, you said you're playing Lord of the Rings on the PC.
Yes.
What other ones do you play? That's Battle for Middle Earth 2
That's
is playing,
really,
by the way.
Yes, I play. I really only play 2 right now, but I just played 1. I was playing 1 for a while, and then I just started playing Lord of the Rings 2 because it came out with the expansion pack, and I wanted to play the campaign and check it out because I like playing the campaigns, and so I just been playing that a lot, really. Just but I don't really play any other. I tried Warhammer. I tried World of Warcraft, Command and Conquer, and I don't know. I didn't really get into them really at all. I don't know. I just like the way the Lord of the Rings is set up compared to the other ones. So I didn't really get into them. So, but yeah, so that's the only game I really play for PC. And then I haven't played. I have Xbox 360, but I haven't really played in a while. Like I just moved and stuff, and I haven't even set it up yet.
Yeah, I've got a 360 as well. So.
Yeah, see, I haven't really played. I mean, I like it and I'm into it, but I'm not into it enough that I haven't really been playing. Like, I only play video. I usually play when I wake up or, like, before I go to bed, and I usually just wind up playing the Lord of the Rings one. So I don't even really play I haven't played any Xbox, so.
Actually, we played. I've got SmackDown versus Raw 2007 on the 360. And the really disturbing part, we've tried it before, is that you can actually make a very disturbingly accurate Silent Bob in it.
Oh, really? I know it's really cool on all these games, how like the Tiger Woods and all that, how you can put all these things. My buddy, his name's Nick Nicotera, but everyone calls him Nick Knack.
Yeah.
And so he's a little heavier set guy, and he's short, and he made this character, but it was also cool because you could make tattoos, and he had on each forearm, like if you put your palms up on each one of his forearms, on one forearm he has Nick, and on the other one he has Knack. And in real life, he has tattoos that says Knick-Knack on his forearms. And in the game, he was able to put Knick-Knack on his forearms for the character. I don't know. It's pretty funny, but it's really fun. It is really cool. On a lot of these games, you can make your own character, make them look like you and stuff.
No, that'd be actually that is kind of cool. I mean, we had Need for Speed Carbon on the 360, and my nephew Martin, he's about 13. We'd sit there for about hours at a time just stuffing around with the look of a car, designing, the paint color, everything, designing new tattoos, not tattoos, decals to put on it, sort of things like that. But what game do you play normally on the 360 anyway?
I was playing some Tiger Woods, and I tried Hitman. I like Hitman, but I got stuck on the Hitman. I couldn't get past this part.
Which
one? So I gave up on that for a while. On Hitman, I was when you're in the winery, and I mean not the winery. What's it called? Where the wines? I can't even think of the name of it now. Where they crush the grapes and stuff. The wine.
Oh, downstairs of the Mexican area. I've played the game. I finished all the missions.
And you're like, oh really?
Yeah.
I got stuck on where you have to go in and I don't know. And then I was playing Splinter Cell, and I got stuck on a part there too. You gotta like crack this code, and it's like a Rubik's Cube, and you got to get all the numbers on each side without them matching. Yeah, and I couldn't crack the code, and so I just gave up on that, and then I haven't, like I said, I moved, and I just haven't got back to playing really. So.
Yeah, no, now, you mentioned before that you go to a lot of comic conventions, things like that now and then?
Yeah, I go to, for about 3 or 4 years now, Kevin and I usually go to, like the Chicago, the one in L.A., New York. We went to New York last year and this year. But yeah, so we've been going for a while now. I enjoy it.
I mean, you and Kevin obviously get a lot of respect at these things because you've earned it. the Evening with Kevin Smith, the first one, I noticed a bit where one of the guys, Kevin's standing on stage and he's in the auditorium. He's talking, and some guy gets up and he goes, "Oh, we've got an ounce back at our place. You and Jason want to come back to our place and smoke it with us." And there's just this look of dumbfounded, what the fuck on Kevin's face. And
I don't know. I think people ask us. They've asked me anyway. Not so much anymore, but people used to ask me all the time and ask me if I wanted to smoke, and they always ask us to come party and stuff like that.
How did it feel going back to, you had Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, which was a really surreal movie, a really fun movie, but quite surreal in how it played out. In the sense of, it was, how would I put this? Dogma and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Kevin went into the whole fantasy element with Dogma, I suppose you could say. The whole mysticism aspect. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, he went into the whole parody area, I suppose you could say. It was great. It was a lot of fun, especially the Scooby-Doo scene. But how did it feel with Clerks 2 going back to being side characters and in a serious kind of movie?
I don't know. I mean, I think that it was perfect the way it was. I think that it being all around Brian and Jeff, which were great in the movie. I think they both were great, and it being focused on them and everything. I don't know. I just think and us just popping in and out was great. I mean, I don't think. I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. I just think it was what it was. It was good. I mean. But I mean, I'm glad it wasn't another Jam Bob. I think that Kevin picking that movie to do again for the next movie was perfect, the way it was. So
It brings everything sort of like a nice full circle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what I'm saying. It was perfect. I know people were commenting, saying, which makes sense and it's true. It's like a lot of times people try to make sequels to something and it just doesn't pan out and it winds up ruining it, sort of the whole thing. But I think it worked out perfect. I think it was great. The movie turned out, it was great how it was, and it didn't mess up anything in the for the first
Kevin
one,
Smith's
so.
got an upcoming horror project.
Yes.
And you're involved in
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what? I don't know what. Oh, I'm sorry. I just got all excited. I just won a big hand in poker. I just beat two guys out and doubled up. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's all right.
But yes, I don't know anything about it really. I know that he has.
No. I'm not trying to interrogate you about it.
Oh yeah. Well, I just thought you were asking. I was just telling you. Yeah, I don't know, but.
No, well, I've just noticed that a lot of times, like we talked to James Kyson Lee from Heroes last week, and he pointed out that on IMDb, which is what I usually just, stare at while I'm talking to someone, which has a list of their movies that they've been in or TV shows, he said IMDb is very rarely 100% accurate. Yeah, he's listed on there as starring in Alias, but his listing is, Korean Soldier number 3. That could be anyone. Yeah. So it's just basically a case of I just wanted to see, are you actually officially attached to it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. He, like I said, I know he's going to be writing something about it. He's writing a script, and I'm sure he'll throw me in there, but I don't even know who got the information and who wrote that. But yeah, there's stuff in there. I know you look at, I think on IMDb, that my girl was telling me she was reading up, and it says that I play guitar and I sing, and it also says that I write lyrics, that I've been writing lyrics for this hardcore band, and not any of that's true. I can't write, I can't play any instruments, and I can't sing for shit. So it's just funny. I don't know where people got that idea from that. So.
Ah, that's all right, man. I've heard a lot of actors tell me that the stuff on IMDb is unbelievably inaccurate. How long have you been? How long are you sober now?
April 6th will be 4 years.
And that's big congratulations from everybody who listens to this show. That's a hell of a feat.
Thank you.
One of my mates is a recovering alcoholic, and he said that he'll always be a recovering alcoholic. He said he'll never be cured. He said that because it's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
He says that when he gets
Yeah,
stressed,
no,
he feels like it, but
Yeah, no, it's scary because, like, you know, you go to AA meetings and, you know, people raise their hand and they'll be like, look, I had 15 years sober and I went out this weekend and I almost lost everything all over again and stuff. So that's a little scary because, you know, you think after 15 years that, you know, you sort of got a hold on it, but, you know, just from, you know, like I said, from people saying, you know, I guess not. I mean, it's a scary thing. It's scary to, you know, to think that after like 15 years, you still could slip up. So
I imagine that your friends like O'Halloran and Anderson and Kevin and all them, they were incredibly supportive of you. You know, your rehab, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And that was.
No, yeah, I'm lucky. I have a lot of good friends out here, and everyone's really supportive. Like, even to the point of, like, you know, they see me if I go out to a club or something with my friends, and if I'm with somebody, like you know, I'm talking to somebody, and they're like, "Here, can you hold this drink for a minute? I got to tie my shoe or anything." And they look over and they see me holding the drink, they'll run over and be like, "What are you doing?" You know, I mean, and I'll be like, "I'm holding it for this person." They'll be like, "Oh, I was about to slap you," you know, stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, really supportive friends, and I think a big part of, like, helping me out, like, I have a friend that had 4 years sober and he went out, and it was because he started hanging out with his friends, you know, thinking he could hang out with his friends that used, you know, did coke and this and that and pills, and he thought that he could hang out with them and not want to do it. He thought, and so I think, you know, my point is that a big part of it, I think, is just staying away from those people, like keeping yourself away from people who are using and stuff, and that's what I do. I mean, like, 3 of the guys I hang out with, they're sober. They have 5 years, 11 years, you know, stuff like that. And then I have a few friends that drink, but I mean, drinking really it doesn't really bother me. So, you know, and they know the situation too. So even though they drink, like I said, they're supportive of the situation. But it's cool.
No, well, like I said, it's
listen,
amazing.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's amazing that you've actually, not amazing, but it's just a hell of a feat to keep yourself sober that long, that's all, and I hope it continues for you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us today, Jason. It's been absolutely wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
And we shall...
Thank you.
Do you mind if we catch up with you another time?
Yeah, give me a call. I mean, you know, if you want to, I have this number, so, you know, if you want to call back at some point, like, that's, this is the best time that you called, probably around 12. So anytime between, like, 12 and 5 is a good time, so just call me.
That's when you're crawling out of bed, is it?
Yeah, well, no, I'm usually up by, like, 10:30, 10:30, but, you know, like, usually take a shower, get some coffee, and wake up, so
yeah, that's cool.
You know.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us, Jason, and it's been a blast, and I wish you the best for the future, mate, and I'll talk to you later, okay?
Great, thanks a lot, man. Have a good one.
See ya.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, from Jason and I, that's a very big thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, from Jason and I, that's a very big thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.